Good morning. Okay, good morning again, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me and Peter in the chamber this morning. It's 8:30 in the morning on a Friday when your week is ending and you don't really want to do anything but get some rest. So I appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedules and your morning, frankly. I hope you've had some breakfast, or if you haven't, that you have your cup of joe, you have something in front of you that's gonna keep you going while we're here together. As Peter said, we would love for you to, introduce yourselves, put your name, well, your name is already or should be associated with your profile in Zoom. Let us know the name of your company, your LinkedIn profile, and anything else that you want to share, any other contact info that you want to share, and get to know each other while we're doing this presentation. Um, I am Karen Vick, and I am the Chief Guide at Guiding Brands. And at Guiding Brands, we help businesses of all types and sizes get found, stand out from the crowd. And we do that by actually starting with what we call strategy. It's essentially creating a roadmap for your business so that you can actually stand out in the noisy world that we live in right now. And we also then implement those strategies that we develop for you in the form of websites, your social media marketing, search engine optimization, all of those things that your business needs to thrive in 2024 and beyond. Okay. And so this morning, it will be my pleasure. It is my pleasure. It's my honor to actually talk to you about a topic that I get a lot of questions about. How do I actually do my marketing, myself? How does my team handle this? We have so many things that we're doing at any given time. Most of the people that I come across on a daily basis are solopreneurs, or they have a very small team, and they struggle with, implementing and maintaining their marketing. And so my goal for today is to leave you with 5 strategies that you can actually use to streamline your processes so that you can actually be more efficient and save some time. As Benjamin Franklin said, time is money. Time is money. And you and I that are small business owners know that, every minute counts. And so hopefully these techniques will actually help you with solving some of those problems, okay, when it comes to time management and your marketing. Okay, all right. So I actually had something else designed for this morning to do this, but I want to know from you if you could just share with me, what are your biggest marketing time management challenges? Is it that you don't have a clue as to where to start? You don't have time, you don't have the resources. Any number of things could be challenging you when it comes to time in your marketing. If you would be so good as to just share that in the chat and let us all engage around that, that would be fantastic. And as I'm actually doing the presentation, I'm going to ask that everybody stays muted until the end of the presentation, where I will give you an opportunity to ask questions in a Q&A period. You can also place your questions in the chat. This meeting is being recorded so that I can actually share it with you afterwards. And also, we're going to save the chat so that everybody gets everyone's contact information, and you can use this as a networking opportunity to actually, here again, market and grow your business. Okay. So, yeah, so tell me, let's see what's happening in the chat. What are you saying? What are your challenges to your marketing? I see lots of contact info. knowledge on how to create website. Let's see, content creation and posting, acquisition and engagement of customers. Really good questions. Let's see, anybody else? New leads, ROI. So you want to know what's your return on investment with your marketing. But in terms, let's get specific as it relates to the time it takes to do your marketing, you know, being able to pay attention to this, you know, what struggles do you have around this? Can you articulate any of that? Is it the tools? You don't know what tools to use? Let's see. Help. My biggest challenge is to market when I'm busy with projects. This causes downtime after my projects are complete. I hear you, Dominic. Thank you. What is too much posting? I don't know if there's such a thing as too much posting, but can be challenging. Okay. All right. So while you are talking to each other and sharing in the chat, I am going to, let's see, I'm going to minimize this. I won't see your faces for a little bit as we do this. Okay. All right. So here we go. So this morning, what I'd like to do is to discuss these 5 strategies. 1, planning quickly and effectively. These are strategies this is a key strategy to ensuring that everything that you do in your marketing runs smoothly. Okay. Organizing your assets. What are assets? They're everything from your logos to photographs, your content that you've created before, anything that you're going to use and share in your marketing are considered assets. And you want to create your content quickly. You know, how do you do that? And also repurposing content or reusing content that you've already created before. How do you do that? Okay. And how can that actually help you save time? And last but not least, automate. There's so many tools available to us out there, and I'm going to share a couple of them that can actually help, you know, like Dominic says, you know, balancing her time, you know, managing time between projects and, you know, dedicating time to this. How do you actually do this? And then I'm going to open it up to a Q&A, and I'm going to share some resources with you. And like I said, you're going to get a copy of this presentation, and it will include links to these resources that I'm going to be providing you with today. So let's go. All right. So planning, you know, I am a planner. I am one of those people that can come up with the most elaborate plans for so many things, but often where we fall short is in actually executing our plans. You know, we can plan to our detriment, but if we actually have an actual process, and my process may be different from yours, but these are just suggestions that you can use. But if you use a process that you've developed, it can actually help you with streamlining things. But the first thing that you want to do is you want to ensure that you know who you're talking to and what their needs are. You know, what are you going to be sharing with them? If you don't have that in mind, then I would suggest that you just sit and just, you know, consider the service that you provide, right? And the end results of that service that you provide. It's not, for me, it's not just building websites. It's not just the strategy. It's the results that my clients get. And, you know, it can be freedom for them, you know, freedom to give as a result of their business growing. It could be freedom to spend time with family because their business has grown and they're able to actually hire staff, do the things that can help them, you know, their businesses run even smoother. It could be, you know, helping people save time in their marketing, whatever it is, you know, that's the end result that you want to think about when you talk about, you know, what your customers' needs are. They have immediate needs and they have long-term needs. So what are you going to be speaking to when you know, think about marketing? Okay. And then you want to set aside some time to plan. And for me, what I do, and I encourage clients that I work with to do, is to set aside, maybe if you're doing this for the first time, you want to set aside a couple of hours, maybe it's even a half a day, on a weekend or a Friday or whatever, set aside some time where you can actually sit and do a literal brain dump. Think about all the things that have been running around in your head, but you haven't had the time to sit and you know, uh, process, through, but you need to set that time aside so that you can plan. And planning can include things like figuring out what you're going to be sharing over the next 3 months, over the next 6 months, over a year. What are your goals for your business? What do you want all of this marketing effort to actually produce for you? You need to write it all down. And then what you want to do is you want to gather all your resources, your tools, these ideas that you've been brainstorming, and you want to write it down. You want to put it someplace and make a decision. We can, right now, there's so much information out there that, we can go through a state of analysis paralysis where we get so much information and then we overwhelm ourselves even more. So I'm going to share with you something that I received some time ago from a marketing expert, Amy Porterfield. I don't take credit for this actual tool. There's so many more out there. There are lots of versions of calendars and tools out there that you can use. There are even project management tools like Trello that can actually assist you with creating a calendar. This one in particular, I'm going to also share with you. But what it does is it helps you with getting a bird's eye view of all of your marketing for a period of time. And in this particular spreadsheet, what I've done here is broken it down. There's a tab for each month of the year, right? And please let me know, are you seeing, everybody seeing my screen, by the way? I'm here gabbing along, and hopefully if you could just say yes if you are seeing. Yes, okay, great. Okay. So yeah, so you can actually come in here and break down your month, each month by week, decide on a theme, either for the month or for the week. I like to think of things in terms of themes for a month or a quarter, depending on what's going on in your business. And what you may want to do is you may want to think about the calendar. What events are happening locally in your community if your focus is on local marketing, local, business. You could think about national holidays that are happening, Labor Day is coming up. What can you do centered around labor? This idea of celebrating labor in your marketing. And then you would sit and create your content based on the topic. Once you've created this maybe you create a blog post, for instance, you can have a link to a post there, the date when you're going to publish it, a promotion and a call to action. You have to tell people, you remember this is marketing, and the goal is to get people to take some action so that you can gain business. They're going to become a client potentially. They become leads, and this is what you would do. But there's actually another very easy way that you can actually create a marketing calendar or a content calendar, besides using spreadsheets and even paper. I love paper. You can write things down. It's actually using AI. I'm going to show you an example. Did this quickly. It took me all of about 5 minutes to create this. So this is ChatGPT. There are several other AI tools out there. One of my favorites right now is Perplexity. And the reason why I like Perplexity is because Perplexity, and I'm going to put the name of it in the chat, Perplexity AI. Perplexity provides you with resources or references to the information that it shares with you in the form of links. Okay, so this is ChatGPT for this morning. So what I did in this example is I started off, I'm saying that, I'm marketing for a beauty salon, a local beauty salon in Coral Springs. And if you are going to be thinking about any type of marketing for your business, you want to also keep in mind that being found in search is really important. I believe that it's one of the core things that you should do when considering your marketing. It's actually thinking about how people are going to find you in search. So I started off by asking ChatGPT, to create a list of what we call long tail keywords based on the key term beauty salons in Coral Springs, Florida. Okay. And it came up with this list of 10. I asked it to create 10. Then I said, now create a 3-month marketing calendar based on these keywords beginning in September. That includes 3 social media posts for Google Business Profile, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as 1 email per month. Suggest emojis, hashtags, and appropriate images, and place your responses in a table along with any other recommendations. And in seconds, it provided me with this. Okay, so it's all in the asking. You will hear terms like prompts, when people are talking about using AI. It's all about asking. The prompt is just a question that you're asking the AI to perform. Okay. And this is what it did in seconds. It spit out this. So September, the first week, for Google Business Profile, create that, second week, do that, and so on. October, emojis, yeah. So you can do this for any number, any type of business, any number of business. Yes. So David is asking for the prompt. Okay. All right, David. I will share all of this along with all the other material as well. All right. Yeah. No, no, no. I know you said you're kidding, but no, I will share it because this is an open tool and there's so many other resources that you can actually use, okay, to help you along. So having a calendar, putting your notes in place, whether you're using AI or you're using a tool like this calendar here, which you're going to get access to. I'm going to share this with you as well. And also what I did in this spreadsheet is I have a tab here for resources. What resources? Where are you going to get content from? You might be gathering content from, news sites, business sites, the competition. Make notes of all of these things because these places can act as inspiration for your content. And then you can create another tab with content ideas, so just do a brain dump of all of the things that you would want to do in your marketing. Okay. All right. All right. You're welcome, Tanya. Okay, so let me go back to my presentation. All right. Yeah, so be decisive is the final thing that I listed here. Just make a decision and go with it. Nothing is wrong. You can delete posts, you can remove them from the web, do any number of things, make changes to your post. I do that all the time. Misspellings are my friend. And I go back in afterwards. It's I actually did that and fix it. Okay. And strategy number 2, you want to organize your content, organize all of your assets and all the things that you're doing. I often work with people asking for their logos, fonts, the colors for their branding, and they don't have access to these things, or they're in so many different places. I sometimes see desktops littered with files and folders that make my head dizzy. Like I said, I'm a planner and I'm an organizer, and those things kind of, give me the heebie-jeebies. But I can get out of control sometimes too. When I'm really busy, things get out of whack. But organizing so that you have quick access to all the resources, all the tools that you need, is very, very important. And David is in the audience. David is David Muir. He's a photographer, and we did a podcast episode recently together. And one of the things that he shared, actually, he said it's probably the most important thing is for people to be able to organize their photos, because you have photos that are sized for the web, you have photos that are sized for print. And if you can't find these things, then it makes it difficult, for you to actually save time and do this in an efficient manner. Okay. I know for me as a marketer, it's difficult when I'm working with a client and I say, okay, I need for you to provide me with your logo. And it's one logo file that they have. It's small, it's a low resolution image or headshots they don't have, or they can't find them. But if you have a single place where you can store this information, it will be very helpful to you. Okay. So I'm going to share with you again my screen. I did this folder just to give you a sense of what you could do. So you could create a folder called marketing assets. And in it, you can create a folder for any social media graphics that you've already created, articles that you've written, your content planner, that's like the one I shared with you before. You can place it in this folder, any audio and video files, your fonts, believe it or not. When you go to a graphic designer and you're asking them to create any kind of marketing material for you, if you don't have your fonts, oftentimes it makes it very difficult for them to actually help your brand stay on brand. Okay. Branding is all about, being consistent in your look and feel across the board. So your colors, you should have, so if you notice any marketing, most of the marketing material that I put out there, it's the same set of colors, the same fonts, the same style. And there's a reason for that. And the reason for that is that I am branding myself, my company, Guiding Brands, in your brains with the colors and the styles that I use. So if you have these things in a place where you can access it quickly, for your marketer or for yourself, then this will reduce so much of your time and headache. Okay. Any product shots. If you sell a product, if you have a device that you're working with, anything that you're selling, you want to have photographs of good quality photos, and so you can organize them like this. And I'm going to note something here, something called a brand guide. A brand guide is essentially a tool that will help you always maintain the standards of your brand. It can include, typically it's a PDF document that contains your colors, your brand colors, brand fonts, the what else? How to use it, the proper way to use your colors, your fonts, any imagery, anything that's going to guide you and someone else in performing your marketing or creating any collateral for you, any marketing material for you. It's important that you have something like that. And that's something that we do at Guiding Brands as well. So if you're having difficulty in communicating these things to anyone that you're working with, come see me. We can help you with that as well. Okay. So be organized. So, all right. And then strategy number 3, create. So you're going to use your plan to guide your creation process. There are lots of tools that are easily and readily available to us out there. I don't know if you're all aware of these tools. Some of them include Canva, and I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see it. But Canva it's like Photoshop on the web. Okay. If you've, try to create any graphics and you use the tools that are built into your computer system, like I think it's Paint. I think Microsoft calls it Paint or something like that. You can get some wonky results, right? So you want to use a tool that's going to actually help you with creating some good looking graphics. Canva is one, Adobe Spark. I am a designer, and so a lot of us have the Adobe Creative Suite of tools, and included in that is Adobe Spark. But you, the layperson out there, if you don't have the Adobe Suite, you can actually just search Adobe Spark, and actually you would find this tool out there. There's a free version that you can use. CapCut is an app that can help you with creating video content, reels, and things like that. It's pretty cool because just on your device, there's a desktop version as well that you can use to create captions for your videos, add text, add images, create long form content. You can do a whole lot of things with it. All right. Your phone, your phone is essential to your marketing. Ensure that you're backing up your files and clearing it out so that you have enough space on your phones so that you can actually, take those photos as important photos when you need to, those videos when you need to, you have space to store them. AI, like I mentioned before, is a fantastic tool. And there's so many things that you can do with AI now, from creating videos, to creating graphics, creating content plans, like I shared before. What I shared before with ChatGPT is just a tip of the iceberg. And then something I call OPC, other people's content. There are other people out there that are doing really good things. I'm not telling you to go out and copy verbatim, contents, but you can use content that's existing to inspire you, to gain ideas for your marketing. If there's something that attracted you to a particular piece on social media, use it as a, inspiration. There's nothing wrong with that. And one really, really useful tip in terms of creating and saving time is batching your content creation. So for me, Wednesdays are typically my day for creating content. It's for my company. So you got to set aside time for your work, right? So Wednesdays is when I record podcasts, when I publish podcasts, when I do all of those things, write blog posts, create social media content, things like that. Set aside that time and then you batch create. So you just buckle down, put your head down and say, okay, for the next 4 hours or the next hour, whatever, I'm going to be creating content today. All right. That's what you do. And content can be video. It could be photos that you're taking. It could be blog posts that you're writing. It could be podcasts that you're recording, any number of things, all of those things, anything that you're going to share about your business, about the work that you do is content. And you want to just reduce the friction by just batching your time like that. All right. Okay. All right. Actually, let me go back out here for a second. Let me show you. So this is Canva, and Canva actually also has a scheduling tool that you can actually use for scheduling your posts. And we're going to get to scheduling in a second. So this is Canva. I created this account real quick just to kind of just show you how you can use this. There's a free version of the tool that you can use for yourself if you're not familiar with it. If you are, great. I don't want to go through the ins and outs of it, but as you start, you can see it actually can help you with creating an environment that's designed to help you create content that's specific to your industry. Okay. So you can start by selecting the category of industry that you work in and just follow the process. How big is your company? Blah, blah, blah. This is all designed to set you up for creating really good content. And on Canva, you can find templates for a whole host of graphics, from presentations to video to Instagram posts, Reels, TikTok, all kinds of things. And this is Adobe. It used to be called Spark. I said Adobe Spark. It's actually now Adobe Express. Forgive me. So Adobe Express this is what it would look like. But you can search for templates for all kinds of things. So if you wanted to create social media, you could come in and there are templates that can get you started. Canva works in a similar fashion. So if I wanted to create something, I could just click on a template and then I can make it my own. You can change the color of the font, you know, do any number of things inside the tool. All right. Okay, so these are some of the tools that you can use in your content creation, as well as ChatGPT. Okay, you can go to ChatGPT and say, you know what, this month we're talking about, let's see, we're talking about how to navigate the world of social media, or how to sell my, let's see, my restaurant's, I don't know, special of the month, whatever your special is, anything. You can actually go into ChatGPT and say, I need guidance. I need some help with creating an article. Okay. All right. So yeah. Okay. Strategy number 4. This is really useful in that a lot of us think that because we create something, a post, 6 months ago, we can't use it again. You can repurpose or reuse content that you've already created. One article that you write for your blog can turn into multiple pieces of content, because within it, you have divided, hopefully, your content into subcategories, subsections that you can then, pull out and create, a checklist or a guide. You can create podcast content from it, and a podcast can turn into several things as well. So you can do this in the reverse. You can create a series of reels around the content within this article. You can create an infographic. There's so many things that you can do. So consider repurposing your content, and there's a term that we use in marketing called evergreen. You can actually create content that lives on for a long time because you repurpose it, and it's also going to be relevant throughout time. What you create today, can be actually valuable to somebody a year from now. So when you create content, you want to think about, how useful this can be to someone going, into the future. All right. So consider repurposing your content. All right. And then you want to automate. This is probably one of the things that I am bullish about, because I don't have time. I don't always have time to sit and create content on the fly. And if you can automate your process of marketing, it can actually help you just free your mind to come up with new and innovative ideas for your marketing, right? And not to mention the time that it will save if you're able to actually schedule things ahead of time. So you can schedule things like your social media posts, your Google Business Profile posts. You can schedule your emails, right? So if you are running a series of emails over say a quarter, so you have a particular campaign that you're running, you don't have to be sitting in front of your computer the day that this email needs to go out to actually hit send. You can create these emails ahead of time, set them up, and schedule them within your email marketing tool, whether it be MailChimp or Constant Contact, or ConvertKit, whatever other email marketing tool you're using, and schedule them to be posted. So remember, I talked about batching your content. So when your content creation, so when you sit down to batch those pieces of content, you then put them into these tools and schedule them to be posted. So you're not having to worry about you know, oh man, I missed the time. I planned on putting this post out. I planned on sending this email out, and I didn't get an opportunity to schedule it, you know, get it off your head, get it off your plate. All right. You can even schedule your YouTube videos if you use YouTube in your marketing to actually be published at a later date. Batch the content, you know, put a whole bunch of videos up in YouTube and schedule them to post whenever you want to. Your podcast publication and your blog post can be scheduled as well. Okay. Now, these are some tools that I recommend. My favorite of all is actually Buffer. Buffer I've been using for years. There's a free version. There's agency versions. There are company versions of this, paid versions that you can use. But with the free version, you can actually post content to 3 platforms. Google Business Profile included, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest. There are a number of platforms that you can actually schedule your posts. So what that means is that you would place the content that you've created, you know, in all of your preparation and your planning and creation, you would upload it into the platform, whether in the mobile app or on desktop, and you would add your captions, all the things that you want to be shared with it, right? And then schedule it. Buffer by nature will actually create a schedule for you based on, you know, your audience and based on the types of content that you're sharing. It will actually intelligently create a schedule for you, but you can customize that schedule and just schedule your posts, you know, take some time, take an hour or two to just sit, and you can do an entire month if you want to, you know, and creating your content. And there's another tool called Hootsuite. Hootsuite also does scheduling, and Hootsuite has grown to include a whole suite of other functions. You know, you can interact with your audience through the Hootsuite application as well. You know, and these tools also give you data, you know, who's clicking, you know, how many clicks did your interactions, I'm sorry, did your post receive? Did anybody comment? Was it shared? It will give you some data about how your work, your hard work is actually performing. And then also Facebook Meta has tools that you can use. Right? There is a planner inside of a Meta, and then there's actually a content creation tool inside of Meta. So you can actually create your content right within the Meta tool. You just go to business.facebook.com/latest. And all of this I will be including in the material that I share with you. So you can create stories, you can create reels inside of this, even from your desktop. You can create these tools, okay? And it will tell you, you know, your posts that have been scheduled. This is for a client. This is a client's scheduler or content tool that you're looking at right now. You know, so anything that was already scheduled inside the platform would be here. We don't use Meta for this, but this is another option that you have for actually being able to manage your content. Okay. And I actually am also going to include this link. Meta has some information here on also on how to create and manage your content calendar. So these are just really useful tools that are available to you out there. Okay. Okay. And then what else? And by the way, the Adobe also has a calendar tool and scheduling tool built in, and so does Canva. I mentioned this before. So you can actually plan and schedule your content using these tools as well. So you create it right in there and schedule them to be posted wherever. All right. So, okay. So now we've come to the Q&A period, and I see we have, let's see, We have 23 people in the house. Okay. All right. So I'm looking at the chat. And if you want to, you can come off mic, you can unmute and actually ask your questions if you want to. Let's see. All right, so David's.
I don't want to hug it, Karen, but I genuinely so no. But here's the thing: so you presented all of this, and it's wonderful information, but I don't know how many people have additional time to take on you've like the inners of all of these different platforms and ideas and opportunities. So I was just wondering, do you have a system where you can say, hey, for $800 a month, we do this for your company, or is there some solution that you have that allows you to manage this for a small business? That's my idea. Again, other questions can come first. I see there are others in the chat, but I do think it would be great to understand, even for comparison, what it would cost me and my time versus what I would have to pay someone to get this type of opportunity done for us.
Excellent question, David, and something I get asked all the time. And to be honest with you, I operate from a position of what's best for you. So our packages can start anywhere from $900 per month, posting 2 to 3 times per month on a couple of platforms. Okay. There is a setup fee ahead of this. There's typically a setup fee of approximately 1,500. But again, it's tailored to your business and what it is that your needs are. Okay. But we can help you with this. And understand this. By no means am I saying that you as a small business owner are gonna be able to use all of these tools and do all of these things. These are ideas and these are guides to actually help you on your way. So maybe what you want to do is first concentrate on the planning portion of things. You know, if you organize yourself, get those pieces in place, then it will make it easier for you to go to the next step, you know, in terms of creating content and figuring out what your needs are. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Peter, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this has been absolutely fantastic. I'm sure everybody's learned something. But do you have any I don't know, comments of 2024 social media marketing? You mentioned packages and you know what people would spend. People spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
Tracking ROI, that investment. Any comments or anything like that where we are?
Okay, so there's so many tools out there, from Google Analytics to the platforms themselves having analytics built within them that can actually show you how you're performing. Okay, what it comes down to is actually you being able to, in your planning, when you put a plan together and you know, for instance, that you're going to be posting to LinkedIn, for instance, 3 times per week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? What this is causes you to do is to see specifically what's happening in terms of interactions, in terms of feedback that you're getting, comments that you're getting, shares of these posts, and then you in turn interacting with the people that are posting and sharing. It comes down to you forming these relationships with the people that are interacting with your posts. And then from there, you can track, okay, you know, Peter commented on my post. I noticed that today. And if I go back over time, I can see that Peter's actually been following me and liking my content and creating. Now, what do I do next? I need to then next, you know, reach out to him in a direct message or something. The result is going to be in the business that you get from it. And sometimes you're not gonna know who's actually been coming through to you. Maybe it's on maybe it's through email marketing. You send something out and they share it with a friend or family member or a co-worker or something. You don't know who's actually going to come to you, but there are little things that you can do. And there are little some of them can be technical, and one of them that I employ all the time is using a unique link that is trackable. So we call them UTMs. So for instance, in an email, say for today, I could have sent out in my email a specific link, right, to a blog post or a podcast episode. And in that episode, in that link, I can actually at the end append a UTM, and it says, podcast August 15th, something like that. In my analytics, I can then see how many people actually clicked on that specific link, no matter where they're coming from, whether they received the email directly from me or the email was shared with them. That is a tracking device that you can actually use to tell, how this is performing. But it's about you being consistent, you interacting with your audience, asking questions, and you interacting with people. You don't always want to wait for someone to interact with your content. You actually want to go out there and seek people that you want to market with, that you want to reach.
I guess that important question, how did you find me at that point of sale?
Yes.
I need to get better with.
Yeah.
How did you find me? Yeah.
So exactly. And you think about the same things that you would do offline, you think about doing it online as well. I mean, you don't want to spam people. You don't want to be, be a pest, but you want to do this with tact, and it's you can actually get this data from your analytics. Okay. Nicole, you have a question?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, yeah, I'm driving the mountain, so hopefully I come through okay. I have a question regarding the level of outsourcing that you recommend in the beginning. So, in the first question, the photographer guy asked kind of made me think about this because, I'm in marketing as well. And do you find that it is more advantageous or not really make a difference at all whether a entrepreneur does more of the hands-on work to start with before they start outsourcing it to service providers? Maybe it's a matter of, get someone and hire someone to kind of like set up the technology, but, how much value do you have in or do you say there is in the entrepreneur going through the motions of, keeping up with the content, at least in the beginning, or, they truly scale versus, basically outsourcing all of it? Because I think that it's a double-edged sword. Sometimes I find that people outsource everything, and then if something happens, then they don't know what to do or how to do it, or they don't really see the value in the work being performed for them. But also, if you're not familiar with the technology, you become kind of in a paralysis state because you don't know what to do next. So you need that help to get you over the mark. So kind of what's the push-pull interface around outsourcing in the beginning? Obviously, later on, you need to scale, you got to outsource. But in the beginning, what's your recommendation?
So, Nicole, this is going to be different for everybody. It comes down to budget. Budget is going to answer that question completely. If you don't have a budget in place, you don't have, if you come to me and say, and I think a lot of marketers out there, if you say, listen, I need help with my marketing, the first question I'm going to ask is, what help do you need? Is it in the planning of it? Is it in the creation of it? Is it in the entire thing? Because some people need just help with having a plan in place that can actually help them get started. Some people want to learn how to do it themselves, right? And then when you're starting out, you also want to do everything. You feel like, I don't have the time, I don't have the budget to work with somebody else to do this. So I'm going to try to do this all myself. And quickly people find out that, that it's more challenging than they anticipated. But for me, I think it would be beneficial for you to start with a professional. Start working with somebody who can actually get things in place for you. They can create templates, kind of guide you on how you can actually take this on yourself. Maybe perhaps you have a staff member that can take on some of the roles that you have, including marketing. But I really think that you need to start with someone who can first ensure that your brand is consistent in look and feel, create all of that for you initially, and then you make a decision. Because guess what? If that marketing is working for you, then it will pay for itself so that you can then progress and actually, expand in your marketing efforts. But I think that you need to work with someone initially just to get things off the ground, and who can actually tailor your content, your messaging, and so on, to attract the audience that you want, and bring in those leads that you need to get. Yeah, but that's where I would lean. And there are budgets for everything. I mean, there are services out there that can help you. There's Fiverr. I don't promote Fiverr. I don't promote Upwork, but those are available to you if you don't have the large budget. There are tools and means to actually do that out there. Okay. I hope that answered your question, Nicole. Cortez.
Hey, this is an awesome presentation, by the way. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I just wanted to add, I know that a couple people were asking about social media. One thing that I really, really, really push, everything you said, but the call to action is going to be key for you. You can have 1,000 social followers, but if no one's buying anything from you, it doesn't matter. So curating or creating the call to action, whatever your post is, especially value posts, something that it sparks people's interest or they just want to learn more about. Make it really easy for them to contact you, whether it's a calendar or a phone call or email, and encourage them to just immediately contact you to ask more questions or to get started or to get more information or whatever it is. Okay, that's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Cortez. Thank you. And so I'm going to wrap up the Q&A period now, only because of time. It's 9:25, and I know you all have a busy day ahead of you. So this presentation deck, I'm going to be sharing with you some resources. One of them is a link to this content calendar. There's also a marketing budget tool. So when we talk about spending, how are you tracking your marketing dollars? This very simple tool. It's a nominal fee of $12, and this is full disclosure, an affiliate link to a tool that you can actually use to actually help you in planning your marketing dollars. Okay, how much you're going to spend, and tracking that those expenditure over time. There's also the Guiding Brands podcast, where we talk about topics like this, with other people, other experts in the field, or even small business owners themselves. The first 5 episodes are valuable. They are foundational to your marketing. If this is all new to you, if you I'm not sure where to go, where to begin, you can start there, with the podcast. And you can also take 15 minutes. I'm offering 15 minutes of my time where you can reach out to me and pick my brain for a few minutes. I will attempt to answer all the questions that you've put in the chat that I didn't get to respond to in the email that I'll be sending out. I'll be sending it out over the weekend. So, be on the lookout for it, and know that I'm here if you need help. I hope you found this valuable. I'm going to stop sharing now. I hope you found the information that was shared here valuable, useful. I know it's like drinking from a fire hose. I had 45 minutes to cram a whole bunch of stuff into you, but the idea was to just present you with a picture so that you can actually decide on an element of your marketing that you can actually focus on. And if I'm going to say, start with planning, start with knowing who you're marketing to, what their needs are, what you're going to say, and then put a plan in place. Without that, it's difficult for you to do this because time is money and you're going to waste it sitting there scrambling, you know, on a Monday morning at 8 a.m. saying, oh, I need to post something. And then you spend 2 hours late. 2 hours later, you're still tinkering with a post. Okay.
Karen, thank you
Yes.
so much for helping the Chamber be part of this 3-part business educational series. You started it off really well. You're a great asset to the Chamber. Great information. Next week, we have Reclaim Your Time by Purple Tree Coaching, Jackie Davey, and then a following one, Strategies to Close More Sales. So thank you for being part of this, for volunteering, stepping up. You really are a great Chamber member. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And yes, everybody, if you are not a member of the Tamarac, North Lauderdale Chamber of Commerce, please check out their website, tnlcoc.org. Learn more about the organization. And Peter, the executive director, I've known him for too long, too long. And it's a great opportunity for you to network with your community and do business. Okay. So thank you again, everyone. Have a wonderful day and a fantastic weekend. And reach out to me. I'm here. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Karen.
Bye-bye.